The galaxy had a problem. And that problem was called humans. Alien admirals sneered as humans strutted onto their polished starports, tiny shoulders brimming with confidence that seemed almost unnatural. "Look at them!" snorted Commander Vril, his mandibles clicking. "They think that thing they call a warship is anything but a toy." Humans winked. "It's more than a toy," said Captain Jack Marlowe, leaning on the hull. "It's fully loaded and ready to rock your world." Vril choked. Literally. His tongue was too long. Preposterous! The humans' fleet was laughably small, practically a few floating matchsticks next to the alien dreadnoughts. Yet the humans moved with confidence like they owned the entire sector. Every maneuver was precise, every volley delivered with a mischievous grin. "Confidence," whispered Marlowe, "is our real weapon. The rest? Just fun." The aliens had never seen anything like it. Their plasma cannons aimed at human cruisers, and missed. Every time. Humans ducked, twisted, and jinked with a rhythm that was suggestively tantalizing. "They move like they know what they're doing," muttered First Mate Kira, her antennas twitching in confusion and admiration. "Perhaps it's ritualistic?" Vril hissed, trying not to imagine the worst. "Rituals?" Marlowe grinned. "Oh, we've got rituals. But we prefer interactive exercises. Would you like a demonstration?" By the time the aliens realized the humans were teasing them, cocky, loud, and possibly smooth, their command ships were surrounded. Humans didn't just attack, they flirted with disaster. Every salvo was a wink, every evasive move a playful slap to the alien pride. "Your arrogance, it's contagious," hissed Vril as one human cruiser spun through a hail of plasma like a dancer on stage. They're charming?" "Charm can be lethal," Marlowe said, voice low. "Confidence always turns the tables." And turn the tables it did. The humans jammed alien targeting systems with clever tricks, blinking lights, deceptive signals, holographic decoys that made the aliens feel like they were being handled in ways they didn't understand. Every alien ship that tried to charge got caught in a human trap. By the end, the once mocking aliens were groaning, literally and figuratively. The humans, standing tall atop their captured cruisers, raised their glasses and called out across the void. "Next time, try a little confidence, it might feel good." The galaxy laughed. Not at humans anymore, but with them. And for the first time, aliens realized size and tech didn't matter. Confidence, and just the right amount of swagger, could make even the smallest human feel enormous. The humans were back, and this time, they were actively confusing. Admiral Grox's eyes, if they could roll, would have spun in their sockets. The fleet had moved into formation, but not in any recognizable military pattern. No, this was improvisation, half the cruisers looping, some drifting lazily, one even pausing, as if it had forgotten where it was going. "Do they know what they're doing?" Lieutenant Frixa asked, voice tight with disbelief. "Their movements are illogical." "Logical?" Grox hissed. "No, Frixa, this is diabolical. They're small, chaotic, and yet, every twist, every turn undermines our calculations. They're playing." Over the comms, Captain Jax Harper's voice cut in smooth and casual. "Hey there! Don't mind us. Just making ourselves comfortable. Hope we're not in the way." Grox froze. Comfortable? His tactical HUD was screaming, warnings flashing red. "They're mocking us," he growled. "Every signal, every transmission, it's deliberate. Insulting. And somehow, effective." Frixa's antennae twitched. "Their comfort, it's like a lure. I feel exposed. Vulnerable. And yet nothing about the human ships suggested raw power. Engines glimmered, weapons glinted, but all looked comically underwhelming next to the alien dreadnoughts. That was the trick. Humans had mastered the art of confidence as a weapon. They looped closer, one ship drifting lazily toward Grox's flagship. "Careful," Jack said, almost whispering over the comms. "Wouldn't want to bump into anything sensitive. Not that I mind a little proximity." Groark's sensors went haywire. Proximity? Sensitive? What were they implying? What could they mean? The ambiguity gnawed at him, twisting every defensive calculation into paranoia. Frixa muttered, "Their humor, it's tactical. Every joke, every casual phrase, it's designed to disarm us. I feel threatened. And I don't know why." That was the thing about humans. They weren't frightening in the obvious ways. They weren't huge. They weren't armed with weapons that could obliterate a planet in one shot. They were frightening because they didn't care. They moved, they spoke, they joked, and their audacity twisted the battlefield itself. The humans began weaving in formation, creating deliberate gaps, giving the illusion of error, inviting attacks. Every alien salvo fired into these gaps missed spectacularly. Some ships even fired at the decoy. Empty spaces. Only to realize too late that humans had subtly nudged the field around them. "They're exploiting our expectations," Groark whispered, pacing. "Every maneuver, every hesitation, they've predicted it." "How? How can they predict chaos?" Frix's voice was low. "Maybe that's the point. They are chaos. But it's controlled chaos. Confidence, combined with adaptability, it's lethal." Jax hailed again. "Oh, careful now. You might overcommit. We wouldn't want things to get messy. Not that we're opposed to a little mess, keeps it fun." Groark froze mid-command. Messy? Fun? What did that even mean? Was he being warned? Teased? Threatened? His mind spiraled. Every alien officer in the quadrant was experiencing something unfamiliar, unease born from words alone. The human ships looped around alien formations again, each maneuver accompanied by a quip, a flick of the holographic sensors, a playful pulse of energy, a pattern that looked like a mistake but wasn't. By the time the aliens realized the deception, it was too late. Each ship had already been nudged into a disadvantage. And yet, no human fired a single destructive shot that couldn't be survived. The weapon wasn't plasma or missiles, it was confidence, improvisation, and the sheer audacity of language. Groark exhaled through clenched mandibles. "They're ridiculous." "Yes," Frixa said quietly, eyes fixed on the controlled chaos unfolding. "And terrifying. Because in the calm, measured logic of the aliens, humans were impossible. Unpredictable, small, imperfect, and yet the most dangerous species they had ever underestimated. By the time the humans withdrew briefly, they weren't just winning, they were teasing, teaching, and dominating all at once. And Groark, for the first time, realized that being underestimated could be the deadliest weapon of all. The humans returned, this time with an audacity that made Groark's circuits hum, in the wrong way. His fleet had already taken minor damage from the previous skirmish, not from weapons, but from embarrassment. Every alien commander secretly feared admitting it, but the humans were psychologically unsettling. "Why do they smile while they maneuver?" Frixa asked, voice tight. "They're under fire, technically. And yet, they are smiling. Because they know something we don't." Groark growled. "Something horrifying. Something simple." The human ships weaved through the alien formation like dancers in zero gravity. One cruiser hovered just long enough in a vulnerable position to make every alien sensor scream, then shifted at the last moment. Another ship spun lazily, appearing to be out of control, and yet it cut off 3 alien cruisers' lines of fire without breaking a sweat. Jax Harper's voice rang over comms, casual as a barista taking orders. "Hey there! Hope you don't mind, we're just stretching a bit. Gets the engines warm, keeps the blood flowing, if you know what I mean." Groark's mandibles clicked nervously. "Blood flowing? Engines metaphor? What does he mean?" Frix's antennae quivered. "I do not know. But I feel inferior. Exposed." The humans began what looked like a simple loop, but Groark quickly realized it was a trap. Aliens who followed too closely found themselves blocked, nudged, or misdirected by human ships that seemed to move with subtle foresight. Each maneuver carried a quip over comms. "Careful now, Wouldn't want to get stuck somewhere you can't reach. Not that I mind showing the way. Groix froze. Showing the way? The humans were talking, joking, teasing, and yet somehow dictating the battlefield. Every attempt the aliens made to target the humans ended in confusion. Sensors flickered, targeting algorithms went haywire, and every human dodge looked like a casual shrug of superiority. They're mocking protocol, Frixa said. Every misstep we try to exploit, they planned for. Every response we make, anticipated. They are unreasonably good at chaos. Groix's voice cracked. Unreasonably, and infuriatingly confident. He pointed at a human cruiser hovering near two of his capital ships. Why is that one smiling? It is under heavy fire. It should be not smiling. They are smiling because they know, Frixa whispered. Confidence, language, audacity. They are using all of it. Against us. The humans' words now became weapons themselves. Each transmission carried double meanings, veiled jabs, playful threats, and half-misunderstood idioms. Careful, Jax said casually. Don't get tangled in something you can't handle. Not that we mind lending a hand. Groix's circuits nearly overloaded. Tangling? Lending a hand? His mind raced through permutations of meaning, unable to parse whether this was an insult, a warning, or some bizarre alien sexual euphemism that didn't even apply. The humans didn't care that he couldn't understand. That was the point. And then, as if the teasing weren't enough, humans began using their flaws strategically. One ship misaligned slightly on purpose, another hesitated, just long enough to bait an overzealous salvo, and yet every move felt deliberate, as if chaos itself had been choreographed. They are exploiting our expectations, Groix admitted, turning to Frixa. Every assumption, every calculation, it's wrong. They are small, ridiculous, and yet everything we think gives us advantage is a trap. The alien fleet faltered. Confidence faltered. Every commander was second-guessing themselves. What should have been a routine engagement had become a lesson in humility. Jax hailed one last time before withdrawing slightly. All right, that's enough stretching for now. But remember, next time, a little confidence goes a long way. You might even enjoy it. Groix's mandibles clicked in panic. Enjoy it? Every alien in the quadrant understood one horrifying truth. These humans were unintimidated by logic, weapons, or scale. Their audacity, their improvisation, their playful language, and their utter confidence made them untouchable. Frixa whispered. We were ridiculing them, and now, we are terrified. Groix muttered. They haven't even fought hard yet. And we are losing to attitude. And there it was, the chilling revelation. Humans weren't just surviving. Humans were commanding the battlefield without the need for destruction, turning mistakes into strategy, jokes into tools, and sheer audacity into dominance. By the time Section 3 closed, the aliens weren't just confused. They were bewildered, intimidated, and starting to admire the very species they had mocked. The humans had done the impossible. They had weaponized confidence itself. The battlefield had quieted, not because the aliens were defeated, but because they were paralyzed. Every sensor blinked, every targeting algorithm stuttered, and every officer's mandibles clicked nervously. Humans weren't attacking in the traditional sense. They were teaching a lesson in confidence. Admiral Groix floated near the observation viewport, staring at a human cruiser lazily spinning in a loop, engines purring as if the galaxy were a playground. I don't understand, he muttered. They're small. They're flawed. They shouldn't be able to do this. And yet, Frixa whispered, antennae trembling. They command respect without firing a shot. Without even trying. Captain Jax Harper hailed the alien fleet, voice calm, teasing. Careful now. Don't want anyone getting too comfortable in their positions. Not that we mind showing you how it's done. Groix froze. Positions? Showing us? Every ambiguous word was a scalpel, slicing confidence, slicing pride, leaving the aliens vulnerable to ideas and audacity. Humans began moving in what looked like a casual weave, two ships, bumping, slightly as if by accident, another drifting lazily as if unsure, but every motion subtly nudged alien formations into disarray. The aliens' instincts screamed danger. Their experience, their technology, their massive size, they all meant nothing against this unshakable confidence. "They are commanding us," Frixa said. "Through words. Through movement. Through attitude. We are losing to posture and speech." Grorx's circuits almost fried trying to process it. Every human joke, every playful innuendo, every wink of strategy was amplified by sheer confidence, a weapon so invisible the aliens didn't even realize they were being disarmed. Jax hovered near the center of the formation, calm, smiling. "You're overthinking it. Confidence is simple, really. Just trust what you've got. And have a little fun." Grorx could barely breathe. Fun? Fun? He had never experienced this level of tactical humiliation. Every alien officer felt it, mocked, outmaneuvered, and intellectually exposed. The humans began a slow, deliberate withdrawal, leaving alien formations twisted, confused, and dangerously close to internal conflict. They hadn't fired a weapon in minutes, yet the aliens were reeling. Every calculation, every prediction, every attempt at control had backfired spectacularly. "They didn't fight," Frixa said, voice trembling. "They just were themselves." "Exactly," Grorx admitted, voice low. "They are terrifying because they are human. Confidence. Adaptability. Language. Humor. Flaws. And audacity. Everything we thought was irrelevant is exactly what makes them unbeatable." Jax's voice came over one final time, casual, playful, victorious. "Remember this, underestimate humans at your own peril. We might be small, we might be flawed, but we always turn the tables." The aliens slumped in shock, every officer realizing too late that the humans they had ridiculed were the most dangerous species in the sector, not because of weapons, not because of numbers, but because of confidence itself. Frix's antennae drooped. They weaponized belief. They used words, jokes, and posture, as if it were artillery. Grorx muttered. "We mocked them. We laughed at their mistakes. We called them small, insignificant, and now, Frixa finished, "we are the ones completely outmaneuvered." The humans disappeared into the void, leaving alien cruisers scattered, shaken, and utterly defeated in spirit. They had flipped ridicule into respect, audacity into dominance, and humor into strategy. The galaxy would remember this moment, not for firepower, not for conquest, but for the terrifying, inescapable force of human confidence. In the annals of intergalactic history, the story would be told countless times. Humans were ridiculed, until confidence turned the tables. And somewhere, floating above a quiet, rearranged alien formation, Captain Jax Harper raised a small glass, winked at his crew, and said casually, "Told you confidence goes a long way." The galaxy laughed. Not at humans. Not anymore. With every step, every quip, and every calculated imperfection, humanity had claimed its legendary place in the stars.